Hello everyone, this is College Football 26. If you like college football, please subscribe. We're going through Dynasty mode here with Alabama, and we completed our first season, and we're going to be starting here with the preseason of the second year. And take a look here at the top stories. Heisman Memorial Trophy. This is all preseason. Look at that. Ryan Williams is at the top, baby. And we got Isaac Brown there in fourth. That's pretty awesome that two of our players preseason are in the top five for the running. So hopefully one of our players can get it this year. Before we get into recruiting, let's look at custom schedules here. And we want to set up as many recruits to come visit us as possible. And since this is an unranked team, it doesn't really matter much. I mean, last year they were 5-7. Let's have them come visit us at our place, and that might boost our ratings. Right now we're going second into the season. And I think the rest of this is pretty good. We got a pretty stout schedule here, so we're going to be playing three unranked teams potentially at the beginning. The rankings always change after every week. And then we're going to have our SEC game against Florida at home. Florida is really good, it looks like, this year. We're going to be playing Arkansas at home. They're not as good. And then Mississippi State, we're going to be playing at Mississippi State, and they're really good this year. And then we're going to be playing Kansas at home, non-SEC game. And then we'll be playing Texas A&M at Texas A&M. That's going to be really tough. Really, really, really tough. We'll be going to play Texas at Texas. That's going to be another really tough game. So two back-to-back really tough games there. Then we'll be playing Mississippi at Mississippi. They're not ranked, but they can make it interesting for us. Kentucky, we're playing at home. That's going to be a tough game still with Kentucky. And we're playing at home against Auburn. Anytime Alabama and Auburn play, it always is a tough game for both sides. So you never know what will happen there. And then hopefully we can make the SEC championship this year. We missed it last season, but we still send up 6th overall for the season. So we want to save these changes. Just make sure that I changed West Virginia to home. That's all I changed there. All right. So before we get into the recruiting, I kind of want to look at the preseason top 25 here. Maybe we can just look from here. Yeah, this is a little bit better screen, I feel like. So it looks like they've placed Oregon at the top. And even though we finished 6th last year, maybe with some of the recruits and maybe some of the players this season that we did their upgrades in the off season, maybe they think that we're going to be a little bit better this year. So they put us 2nd overall, which is pretty cool for preseason. And then we know with the Heisman watch here, we got preseason 2 players in the top 5, which is pretty cool. And one of them's at the top, Ryan Williams, wide receiver. That guy is amazing. And let's take a look at the preseason All-Americans here. We got quite a few, actually. So we have here for halfback, we have Isaac Brown. And also we have Fluff Bothwell. And then Ryan Williams for wide receiver. Parker Brailsford for center. All right. And then we got Bray Hubbard here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. They're preseason All-Americans. That is pretty awesome. And that's first team. Let's take a look at second team. Looks like we got a couple here. TJ and LaMarcus. And then we got Jeremiah and Keon. So that's 9 All-Americans to start out preseason. That is pretty awesome. We have no reasons not to make the playoffs and win a playoff game this season. Last year we made the playoffs, but we didn't win a playoff game. All right, so we'll start our recruiting class for 2026. And, you know, nobody's got anything yet, so everybody's on even play field so far. So let's take a look at what we need. So let's take a look here. So QB, looks like they're saying we need 2 here. I guess they're probably expecting these might leave, even though one's a junior, just because of how high they're rated. Maybe, I don't know. They're really not really super high, but they're mid 80s there. 1 L2, 1 LG, 2 RGs, and one of like every position here besides cornerback. They want 3. Okay. And we may look at kickers, maybe if there's a 3-star jewel towards the end of the season. All right. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got. So last year we went with mostly pipelines. I think this time we'll branch out a little bit and go with recommended. So we'll see if we end up with something a little bit more here. Let's rank these from top to bottom. And I think the ends are need. So let's go ahead and we'll try to go after a lot of these 5 stars. That's historically what I've done and had really good success, had really good teams. And it won't hurt to get some other people, you know, if we end up with some other really good recruits. Yeah, we can move them towards the bottom, but we can, even if we don't need them. All right, so that's going to take care of all but 1 DT, the 3 guards we need, and 1 SS. So let's take a look. QB wise, let's just go ahead and fill. Well, how many of each guard we need? We need 2 right, 1 left. Okay. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So let's go down through here. I think we got 4 edges between left and right. So let's see here. Yeah, we need defensive tackle. So add them in. I think we needed 2 rights and 1 left. So this would leave 1 right and 1 left that we still need, and a QB. There's the QB, okay. I don't see any SS's yet. Here's another RG. And here's the LG. Alright, and then let's look for SS. They might be ranked lower, just because they may not have as many stars. So yeah, there's still some. Okay, so we got 27 targets. We won't be able to spend hours on all of those. So the ones that are most interested in us right now is probably yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and start scouting these. Just make sure we don't have any with the jewel marked out. Okay, that's a, oops, hit the wrong button. That's a regular 5-star there, so we'll offer them a scholarship. Alright, because we want people who will develop even if they are a 5-star. Because we're at Alabama, if I was at a lower program, oh wow, that one's a jewel. We're going to move them to the top. Let's offer them. So we're starting out with 1250 hours. Might be able to get through these 27. We'll see. Of scouting and offering scholarship. Wish if you didn't have, if you had unused hours, you could push it to the next week, but I know that's not realistic either. So, it's only so many hours in a week. All right, we're finding some really good recruits here. Now let's slow down here. I know I'm going pretty fast. So this one we scouted, and I'm not really talking through this, so maybe I should slow down here so y'all see what's going on. They have a 90 acceleration. That's pretty awesome. And here they don't have any 90s, but they have a few there in the 80s. And this one here, they have some in the 80s. That's still pretty good. 80s here. And look at this: 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 91 change of direction, 91 agility. That's amazing. 92 acceleration, 90 medium route. That's pretty cool. A 92 acceleration here. 90 acceleration, and we got several there in the 80s. So I'm seeing some really good stuff. Just want to make sure that they can develop. This one has a 91 acceleration for a wheel. This is Lee, so we'll offer them. All right, so we'll see about Quincy here. Oh, Quincy's a jewel. So he's going to develop really well. He's got stuff in the 80s right now, but definitely want him on our radar. All right, Lauren. Wow, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 change of direction, 93 agility. Sign me up, please. All right, James. Let's scout James here. Ooh, he's a bust. I mean, he's got good stuff right now. He's got 92 speed, 95 acceleration, 90 change of direction, 90 agility. But, you know, there's a lot of recruits, so we're going to take him off our list because we can't spread our hours across everybody. This helps us with keeping this full list of people we're going after. So let's now take a look now at someone else to add to the list. Alright, so we took James off our list. Let's take a look here maybe at Ben. We'll add him since we actually need that position for next year. Alright, let's scout Moses here. Moses has 91 speed, 94 acceleration, 93 change of direction, 93 agility. I know that last recruit had a lot of good ratings, attributes, but you can only fight for so many recruits, and I'd rather fight for one that's good and going to develop rather than one that's just good or great. These are not just good players, these are 5-star. These are great players. Alright, Nathan here. Alright, Nathan has several there in the 80s. Let's scout Ian. Alright, he has a 91 acceleration. It's pretty good. Alright, Tyree. Let's take a look at Tyree, scout him. Alright, he's got several there in the 80s. Let's recruit them. Alright, Alex. He's got 90 strength, 90 pursuit. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's see here. Steve. Okay. I know he has 91 acceleration, but we're going to let this one go. And we want to see if that affects our prospect list. Okay, we didn't need any mics. Alright. Didn't affect it, so it's okay to let that one go. We don't have to scope out a 4-star. Amika. Let's see what's going on here with Amika. Alright, he's got several there in the 80s. Joshua. So we're less than half our hours. And we're down to number 18 out of 26 that we got through. So I think we're doing okay here as far as hours. We got several here in the 80s. I think that's pretty good there with Joshua. Alright, Roderick. 91 strength. That's pretty good for a tackle. Alright, that's really good attribute. Matthew. Alright, we got several here in the 80s. He's a 4-star. But we do need this position. But I'm going to hold off for right now. Make sure we got enough hours to scope all these people out before we offer a scholarship. Since they are a 4-star, we're Alabama. Here's Dontre. We definitely don't want a 4-star that's not going to develop. Alright, so we probably want to add another QB to our list. Alright. Alright, Connor. We got 460 hours left. Let's scout him. He's got an 84 pass block power and 80 pass block finesse. That's pretty good, I think, for a 4-star. Alright, let's scout Romeo. Alright, he's got several there in the 80s. Run block power, run block finesse, pass block power, pass block finesse. Okay. Antonio, let's scout them. Alright. Got several there, in the 80s. It's great for a 4-star. Let's scout Ben. Alright. He's got 91 acceleration. That's pretty good. Alright, and then we're down to 340 hours. Let's look at Kelvin. Wow, 96 throw power. 90 acceleration. That's pretty awesome. Okay, but none of these 4-stars are jewels. We do have 320 hours left. And I'd kind of like to see if we can find maybe some jewels of these positions that we're looking for here that are in the 4-stars. So right guard, left guard, SSFS, and then a QB. Okay. So let's take a look at our guards. There's a RG. Let's add an LG. And then, what was it? FS, SS. And QB, right. So we'll just scout these and see, you know, if they end up working out as a jewel, so that way they'll develop better maybe than the other ones we've scouted out. So that's why I've saved from offering scholarships to these 4 stars, other than that one. I did that by accident, I guess. I guess let's look at a defensive tackle too, because we might end up dropping that one potentially. All right. So we got 32 people on the list. I know that's really unrealistic as far as searching for people. All right. Let's so we got 320 hours, and we got about 7 people, 6 people here. Okay, I think that's doable to scout and still offer scholarships. Okay. Let's scout here with that. Okay, who was that? That was Mike. Let's look at Thaddeus here. Okay. Let's look at Matthew. Okay, let's take a look here at Gideon. Okay, let's take a look at Denard. And Tori. Okay, so no jewels actually. So we spent all that time really for nothing. But that's part of it right now. We got a lot of hours to work with. Starting next week, we won't have any hours because we'll be putting hours towards sending the house and stuff like that with people. So this week 0 is really when you got to spend these hours just searching out different recruits. Down to 150 hours. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 5 is 30. So we can't spend more than 120 hours, but we can take a look, see if we find any others. Let's take a look at one more defensive tackle. Just in case they might be a 4-star jewel. Alright, this is Marco. Okay, not a jewel. Alright, so remember we gotta leave 30 hours, we're down to 120. Let's take a look at a right guard. Lots of right guards. No, I do not want to exit. Sorry. There we go. Alright, let's scout out Rashawn. Oh, we found a jewel. And this is why we do this. So, let's see here. Their highest is like 85 pass block power. This one here, they had a 94 strength, but this other one will develop better. This one didn't even have anything above 85, and this one didn't either. So I know we need 2 RGs, so we're definitely going to be offering This one a scholarship. And since they are a jewel, we are going to move them to the very top. Or not very top, but below the 5-star jewels. Alright, so we got 85 hours right now. And we know we still need 2 RGs, so one of them, the rest of the positions, I think we just needed one. That's a 4-star, right? Yeah. Sorry, my 21st, yep. Yep. And that's a QB position there that we're looking at, that ATH. Alright, so what did we do? We did RG. Let's take a look at LG. Remember, we gotta leave, I guess now it's 25 hours. Okay. So let's go down here. Let's take a look at them. See if this is all we got. Everything's maxed out here as far as number of recruits that we're gonna look at. But we're gonna be getting rid of some of these. All right, this is Dion. Oh, another jewel. Wow. Yeah, let's go for them. Let's take a look here. Right now their highest is 86 pass block. Let's take a look at the other ones we looked at. This one, they don't even have anything at 86, and they're not a jewel. This one here, they don't have anything, but they have probably more things in the 80s. They're better overall rounded. So, yeah, we'll definitely go with this one. Okay, we already offered the scholarship. We're gonna move them up to number 4 position. Alright, so we're down to 50 hours. Alright, so I guess it was starting here, 22nd, down to 28th. Okay, or our first picks. So let's go ahead and start removing some of these, make sure we don't lose track of how many hours we need for each one. And realistically, you can't get all of these recruits. Okay, so, and we can remove 1 RG. Alright, so we need, how many got? 3, 4, 5. We need 25 hours. So if the next recruit requires 30 hours to scope out, it doesn't really help. If it's 20, then we still got some time left over here. But we can go ahead and maybe take a look at let's see here. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, we already scoped them out. Okay. Let's try one more here. Let's remove this one from our list. Alright, we'll see how scouting goes here. They got some good stuff there. Alright, but we're not going to have enough time. And I want to get these scholarships offered because it really helps in the beginning. People will flock to your school potentially if they're interested. You move up on their leaderboard of universities that they're interested in. All right, so it leaves us 5 hours. Just a little bit short there to figure out that one. So we'll, I guess, what they say, throw it back in the pond, so to speak. All right, so right now we're looking at 27 targets. I know that's a whole lot, and we have 5 hours left to spend, but that's not. Nobody instantly committed this time, so that's kind of interesting. But I want to kind of show y'all, once you get up to a powerhouse school, or you've built your school up to a powerhouse like I've done in the past, this is kind of my approach of selecting recruits, and it's worked pretty well for me. There's probably plenty of different ways of doing this. All right, let's advance the week. All right, we got 300 XP. We're still a level 20 coach. Still the same two. Oh, wow. We went from a 91, 94 for offense and defense to 94, 96. Wow, we're a 94 overall. That's pretty good to see. All right. This is going to be our, I guess, last video for this series. And I'll see you all in different games or in the next college football game.